it's your girl Jamila of JSR, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys the perfect way that you can use to draft your bustier, your shoulder bustier with yoke. Okay, so if this sounds like what you are interested in, stick around with me till the end of this video. So now in this video, I already have on the table here, I already have my basic bodice pattern. Okay, and in case you are confused on how I went about drafting this, I have a video on this on the channel, so I'll leave the link in the description box so you can actually check it out. Okay, so these are half scale bodies. Okay, so these are the required tools that we need: your tape, the marker, and the ruler with your measurements. Okay, so now first thing first, now we are drafting a shoulder bustier. Okay, we are drafting a shoulder bustier with a yoke, so I'm going to be showing you guys how to tighten your yoke and also how to avoid gaping on your yoke. Okay, so now first thing first is this: the first thing we need to do is you go to your, this is our shoulder line. Okay, this is our shoulder line. So on your shoulder line, you take your tape and measure what you have here and divide it into two. That is the first thing. Okay, you're going to be dividing it into two. Okay, so after dividing your shoulder into two, the next thing for you to do is to take your ruler and connect it to the bust point. Okay, connect it all the way to the bust point, which is this. Okay, so now the next thing for us to do now is to determine your cleavage length. That is how exposed you want the neckline to be. Okay, so now what I'm going to do now is this. For this client, I don't want the style cleavage length here. Now I will just take it from this my shoulder line. I'll go up by 6. Okay, I'll come down by 6. That's for my cleavage length. Okay, now it's a sweetheart neckline, so what I'm going to do now is I'll just make a connection like so. Okay, you can decide to determine how low you want this side to be as well. Okay, I took out 5 here, so I'll just make a connection like this. Okay, I'll just make a connection like this. Okay, I hope you understand. So I can now use my marker pen now to draw what I have here. Okay, in your own case, you can use pencil, because I'm making use of marker pen so for visibility, so I can actually see what I'm drawing. Okay, so now we've already determined how low we want our yoke to be, which is this is the overbust line already. Okay, now let's tighten our overbust. Okay, now how do you tighten your overbust? This shoulder line here, now what I'm going to do now is, for a smaller size or for average size, you can go in here by 0.75 and 0.75 on both sides. That is making 1.5. Okay, now for a bigger size, you can go in by 1 inch on both sides of the dart leg. That is just it. So this is a bust of 38, so I'm going to be making use of 0.75. Okay, I'm going to make use of 0.75 on both dart legs. So I'm going to be taking my ruler now and I'll connect it like so. Okay, so try to avoid too much curvy lines. Okay, because it will create more excesses on your pattern. Okay, and at the end of the day, it will affect the fit of your clothes. Okay, so try to avoid too much curves on your pattern. Okay, so now I'll just make a connection like so. Okay, so after doing this, now remember we took out 0.75, 0.75. Okay, I'm sure you guys have experienced something like, after drafting and sewing and everything, the armhole is kind of revealing your bust area. Okay, so we're going to be eliminating that on our pattern. So now remember we took out 0.75 here and 0.75 here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking one of the 0.75 to replace on the armhole area here. I hope you get. So I'll take out one of these. I'm not going to make use of 1.5. Remember 0.75 and 0.75 here is 1.5. Okay, so we're not going to be making use of 1.5 to replace. We're going to be taking out 1, okay, to replace it here. So what I'm going to do now is I'll extend this line like so. Okay, I'm going to be extending this line like so. Then I will just replace it by 0.75. Okay, make sure you replace it by 0.75. Once that is done, you connect it to your armhole. Okay, connect it from, remember I took it from here, not from this line here. Okay, I took it, I replaced it, I measured from here 0.75 to this part, not this line here. So once that is done, I'll just connect it to my armhole. Okay, I'll just connect it like so. Now the next thing for us to do is to now that this line is like this, definitely one part will be longer than the other. That is why you face the issue of when you are joining everything, you will discover that one part is longer than the other. Okay, so guys, what I'm going to do now is to make sure that this line is not longer than the other. What I'm going to do now is I'll take my paper like this and make sure that I align so that everything would be equal. Okay, so I'll do it like this. Okay, I will treat just like I want to throw the equal part. Okay, so I'll take it like so and they're almost equal because I use a straight line. Okay, so I'll take it like so, and I'll just make sure that all parts, you can see the way I folded my paper, all parts are lined. Okay, so that is that about the overbust tightening. So this is what is known as the overbust tightening. Okay, now I've done we have through with this. So the next thing now, remember the 0.75, one of the 0.75, we took it to this side, okay, to avoid revealing the bust after you are done drafting and doing all every. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do now is this. Remember, we still have 0.75 remaining here. Okay, so we want to tighten the yoke. Okay, you can as well leave it like this. Okay, it's optional. Okay, you can as well leave it like, but for fitting sake, okay, I'm going to be taking one of the 0.75 here again to tighten the yoke. Okay, so now this is what we are going to be doing. Now half of 0.75 is what I'm going to do now is half of 0.75. I'll just divide my tape like so. Okay, 5. I'll just do my tape, fold my tape into two this way, and take out on this yoke part here. I'm taking out 0.75 from this line here. Okay, so I'll take out half of 0.75. I'll take it out like this. Okay, and I'll also do the same thing like this. Okay, that is half of 0.75. Remember, we are tightening our yoke. So once that is done, I'll just make a connection like this. Okay, I'll make a connection like this. I hope you understand what I'm doing. Okay, please do have to subscribe, guys. Let's So now this is it. So I've gone ahead to tighten my yoke. Okay, I've gone ahead to tighten my yoke using one remaining of the 0.75 to tighten the yoke. I hope you understand this. So now we are done with the upper. The next step for us to do is to tighten our underbust. Now, how do we tighten our underbust? It's very simple. I'll show you guys the simplest way they can actually use to tighten your underbust. Okay, so I'll give you proportion. Now, for a bust of, I'm working with a bust of 38. Okay, so for a bust of 30, what I simply do is this. On this that leg here, okay, these are underbust line. Okay, so on this that leg here, I'll just come in here by 0.5. Okay, come in here by 0.5. Now on this part, this other that leg here, I'll just go out there by 1.25. Okay, I'll just go out there by 1.25. I'll just go out there by 1.25. Okay, so now I'll make a connection like this. I'll make a connection like this. Okay, and I'll make sure you don't use two curvy lines. I've actually experienced this. That is why I'm singing it like something else to you guys. Okay, when you use two curvy lines, it would it will bring in more excesses to your cup. Okay, making your cup to look funny. I've actually experienced it, so that is why I'm singing it. Okay, so now I would here now here is 1.25. I'll just take in half here so that here will not be that slanted. Okay, so I'm gonna be connecting my lines like so. So I'm gonna be connecting my line like this. Okay, I'm gonna have to connect this. Then I'll take my ruler and connect this like so. Okay, I'll connect it like so. Okay, now this is it. So what I'm going to do now is to make sure that I blend all the sharp points. Okay, make sure I blend all the sharp points. Make sure I blend all the sharp points. Okay, so now we are almost done. Okay, so now what we are going to do now is this is how to actually draft your this is how to actually draft your shoulder bustier. Okay, with a yoke. Okay, what to do now is this. Now there are some times that after making something like this, you discover that there is a sharp point on this part. Okay, and you discover that there is also a gaping around the neckline. So this is how to go about this. Okay, this is what is known as the shoulder tightening here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is for shoulder tightening. Now for the front is I'm going to be going down by 0.5. Guys, it doesn't affect anything. Okay, so you don't need to be scared about this. Okay, so I'll go down by 0.5 and I'll connect it like so. This is to give it more fitting on your shoulder line. Okay, so I'll connect it like this, and it will help to avoid gaping. Remember, when you have a gaping neckline, you have to take in the shoulder. Okay, so this will as well prevent gaping on your neckline. Okay, so you go down by 0.5 and connect it to the shoulder line. And for the back, you are going to be going down by I'm going to be going down by 0.25. Okay, go down by 0.25 and connect it. Okay, go down by 0.25 and connect like so. Okay, so guys, we are done with altering the basic bodice pattern to a shoulder bustier with a yoke. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Begin to cut out. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be dividing this. Okay, this is the center line, so I'm going to be dividing this like so. Okay, so after dividing it, all I'm going to do next is to I want to open this that. Okay, I'm gonna be opening this that, and I'll close the bust that. So guys, I'll open it up like this and I'll close it. Okay, so make sure you always close your bust that. Okay, so I'll close my bust that here as well. Okay, so I'll close the bust that now. Okay, so you can see that after closing the bust that it has shifted. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to blend it. Okay, so before blending, I want us to cross check this measurement here. Okay, you can see that if that is already going out from here, that means our bust measurement is going to be shortened. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is my bust is 9 point, the bust I'm working with is 9.5. Okay, so I've got to cross check to see whether I have the 9.5 complete. Okay, remember this that is going out, so I'll measure like this. This is 4.25. I'll take the 4.25 and measure what I have here. You can see that it's short already. Okay, so we're looking for 9 points. You're looking for 9.5, so here is my 9.5. Okay, here is my 9.5. Okay, so after that, now what I'm going to do now is to also cross check my waist measurement. Okay, I'm working with a waist of 7.5. Okay, so now let's cross check what we have on our waist. So let's cross check what we have on our waistline. Okay, so this is it, guys. I'll measure what I have here. This is 3.25, so I'll take the 3.25 here and measure out what we have on this line here. Okay, we're looking for 7.5. You can see that we've run short. So anytime you are done drafting your pattern, try as much as possible to always cross check your pattern to avoid shortage on your pattern or excesses on your pattern. Is very, very important, guys. Okay, so you can see that if at all there will be any shortage when we're doing the underbust tightening. Okay, if there's going to be any shortage, which there's going to be shortage after all. Okay, but if there is any shortage when we're doing the underbust tightening here, okay, this partner will take care of any shortage that is here. Okay, you can have like half of an inch shortage, which is fair enough. Okay, or one of an inch is also fair enough. Okay, because we'll be adding our sewing allowance when we are transferring this pattern to fabric. Okay, so now if there is any shortage on this pattern, now this new line that we just drew now will take care of any shortage here. Okay, so when you're making use of this method, you don't need to fret over anything. Okay, so I've tested this pattern. I've tested it for both plus size, medium size, and average, and it works so perfectly well. Okay, so now that is that about that. So the next thing we are going to do now is make sure you blend. It's very, very important. Okay, to avoid any sharp point, make sure you blend. Okay, make sure you blend to avoid any sharp point. So after this is done, we can now cut out our pattern. Okay, okay, so here is the yoke, and these are front piece. Okay, here's our front piece. Now for the back piece. So guys, we are done cutting. So for the back is going to be a just a normal basic back bodice. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm aligning my front and the back to see whether it aligns or not. Okay, so guys, if you enjoyed this video, do well to give me a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel, guys, and turn on your notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. So I'll be seeing you guys in my next video. Bye bye.